today. Good morning. I don't know. I'm in a hotel right now. So I'm at a film festival and I'm trying to clean up my mess so you guys don't see how messy I am when I stay at hotels. I had no time. I have not been getting much sleep because it's like non-stop events and parties here. So I'm cleaning my room as we begin. How are you, VS? Good morning. I'm coming to you from the glitzy, glamoury Las Vegas. Had to do my makeup extra special today because we have got a award ceremony to go to this morning. And I had something kind of plain to wear. Hey, Lily. And then the director who I'm here with, he said, oh, you have to wear something formal. So one of the girls, she's loaning me her dress to wear today. So this is what we will be in later today. So get some. So that'll be interesting. I never would have chose that dress for myself, but beggars can't be choosers, right? Okay, so the topic today is why others' opinions don't matter. Oh, Steph is actually here. Amazing. Welcome. Nicola's here. So, have you guys ever had somebody give you like feedback that you didn't like? Or Derek's here. Easter was good. Have you ever let something somebody said stop you from going after your dreams? Thank you, Brittany. Or, hey, Colin, it's all good. Hey, Joe Mama. It was a great example last night at this film festival. So, hey, Malik. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Frank. Yeah, great example at this film festival last night because I entered this monologue contest. And, hey, Kate. And the judges, hey, Rodrigo. Okay, Steph says, oh my God, my parents have tried to do that to me for years. Not anymore. It's my life and my choice, and I need to make my own mistakes. Yeah, how many people, they try to get you to do something because they love you. They don't want to see you get hurt. And, it's always best if we're listening to God, then we won't get hurt. But sometimes we just have to Nicola, no, well, I got my hair done at a hairdresser's like 2 weeks ago or something like that, or a week and a half ago. So yeah, I got some different blonder highlights put in, and I cut bangs. So others' opinions of us don't really matter because, so if you have somebody say, oh, you're terrible at that, or you'll never become that, or you'll never do that, that's just one person's opinion. And sometimes we think, Via says, do you have any advice on dealing with unsolicited advice from family or close friends? You know what? You can't really stop people from saying what they're going to say. Sometimes people are considerate and they will be like, can I give you a piece of advice? Hey, Erica. Hey, Donald. Thank you. And we got Brihani here. If they're kind enough to say, can I give you a piece of advice, then you can decide, do I want to hear this or do I not want to hear this? Sometimes it's good to get feedback if you need it. But last night, I'm in this monologue competition. I'm here in Las Vegas at, hey, Gori, the Las Vegas Black Film Festival. I got a box of snacks that I bring when I travel. Yeah, I tried to get my friend to come with me, but she couldn't. So I'm in a big hotel room with 2 beds, and my friend couldn't come. Anyway, so they'll try to give you advice, and you have to decide, am I going to take this in or am I not going to take this in? last night I didn't have a choice because I'm like nervous. And there's this panel of judges. There's 6 judges during this monologue contest. Um, oh, it's pronounced Erica. Okay. Um, and they're scoring us. They're holding up scorecards, but then they're also telling you all the things you did not do right, and how to do it better. And, you know, people's opinions are just, they're so different and they're so varied. And I do my first piece. I'm pouring my heart out. I'm crying. I'm upset. I'm talking about my little boy who died and I had to bury him. And I did my very best. There was nothing I could think of on how to do it better. And so I just was shocked and totally stunned that the judges, they did not think I did good. And it was so discouraging. I was, so we had a choice. You could get a 0, you could get a 5, or you could get a 10. And the first judge gave me a 5, and I was like, okay. And then they're telling me what I could have done better. The next judge gave me a 5, tell me what I could have done better. Thanks, Rubius. The next judge gave me a 5. So I'm like, is nobody gonna give me any 10s? The fourth judge gave me a 5, was telling me all the things I could have done better. Finally, the last 2 judges gave me a 10, but I wonder, they both admitted that they had lost children, so they could relate to my monologue. And I was like, did they just give me a 10 because their child died, And I was like, I left there and their feedback, I was so shocked about it because they were talking about things that I was like, I have nothing I didn't write this monologue. So well, in your monologue, I didn't know who you were talking to. And I tried to make it very clear I was in a support group and I was looking at people in the support group. They're like, and 3 of the judges were like, well, I didn't know. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you for giving me a 10. Hey, Lord. And 3 of them were like, well, we didn't know where you were. And I was like, they're like, you need to let us know where you were. I didn't know if you were in a doctor's office or if you were, and I'm thinking to myself, why does that matter? Shouldn't it have been about, did I convey the emotion? Did I have the range of the character? Did I take it different places? Were you on a journey with me? Were you, and the things, quite a few of the things they brought up I thought were petty. A couple of them did not like the fact that I was soft-spoken. But I was told we're acting for camera, not acting for a theater where you're projecting your voice big. And first of all, you're nervous because you're in a big, there's all these people staring at you and everyone's giving you scores. And I'm like, why did I sign up for this? I felt like that the first yes, and PO. I know Ricky left, Dhar Mann. I left there and I was so discouraged, and I sat in that holding room where all the actors have to sit and find out who made it to the second round. So they have this kind of boxing ring looking setup. Maybe I'll cut some footage together of it. My friends did film it. You guys can score me. Maybe I'll cut that together. So Brian says, I would give you a 20. So thank you, Angel. Yeah, so it was just, I was kind of sitting in there disoriented. And then I just, instead of getting into my head about, because some of the stuff they're talking about, I have no control over. And you guys are going to experience that yourself. Like the first time I tried to become a model in my 20s. And the modeling agent was like, uh, you would be perfect if you were 5'9" and a redhead. Well, okay, I could dye my hair red, I suppose, but I'm not gonna grow 4.5 inches. So I guess I won't have a modeling career. Um, so people's opinions are people's opinions, and I say this because I walked out of there, I like feeling like some kind of way, kind of like discouraged. I'm like, why did I think I could compete? I'm not. Apparently, these judges who are illustrious judges, they're all in the film industry with, they know what they're doing supposedly, and I was so like downtrodden and discouraged. Like I had, how you get those feelings bubbling up and you feel like you're on the verge of tears. And this guy walked out and followed me out. And he was like, your monologue was outstanding. I was like, really? He goes, I saw you in the acting class earlier today when you did that improv. You killed it. And he was kind of like, those judges don't listen to them. You were excellent. And that kind of made me go, oh, okay, so I'm not going to quit acting. So there was a lot of actors leaving discouraged and trying to figure out, some were getting conflicting advice. Some were saying this was really great, and others were saying no, this was not really good. And guys, I will get to your questions. I promise. I'm going to get to your questions in a bit. I kind of just want to like tell you like what went down. I mean, I'm still processing. I'll probably think about this more and have better things to say about it. But I sat there in a while and I just started praying, and I'm like, God, I don't know what your purpose is for this, why you had me do this, why nobody liked me. This one guy did, I guess. But like shockingly, they cut the group. I think there was 10 of us. There was 9 or 10 of us in the competition. Then they cut it down to 4. And they name and we're all lined up, and they're going to tell us who is the 4 people that go on to round 2. And I was like, it's not going to be me. I got all those 5s. Like, and then they name somebody, woo. And then they name somebody, woo. And then they name somebody, woo. And there's one spot left, and the 9 or 10 of us are like, oh my God, who's it going to be? And then they name someone. And it wasn't me, but it was the host, and she was naming herself. So she faked us out, and then they said Catherine. And I was like, what? How did I make it to round 2? I basically thought, you guys think I suck. Somehow, I made it to round 2. So I was like, thank God my second monologue is not some drama where I'm crying my eyes out about somebody dying. I had a comedy picked out to do. So I got my little comedy chops going, my little narcissistic, I'm better than you monologue, and you're not as good as me. I do my monologue, laughing. People were laughing, and they were laughing, and they were laughing. And the score I got is not as interesting as something that happened next. So they scored me 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I had a unanimous perfect score from every judge. 15 minutes earlier, I'm questioning if I'm even a good actor. I'm like, I must apparently suck. And you know what I'm saying? So we can get so whipped around in our head and our emotions because of what somebody says. And we may decide to give up on our dreams or what we feel we're called to do or what we enjoy because of something somebody said. And it was really interesting because then I'm waiting for the feedback. I'm waiting for them to say, You did this wrong. This is what I would have done better. You should have done this. You should have done that. Here's what I would have done. Nobody said anything. And I found out later, the woman who runs the festival, she decided no more feedback. There was some points of the feedback that she thought it was too long, it was dragging out. They were like trying to teach us how to act. They were like doing an acting class rather than, I need to get a pillow or something to sit on. I'm sitting on my knees. I'll be right back. So she had decided that the feedback was not helpful. And it really wasn't. It really wasn't that helpful. So people may think, oh, I'm helping you. I'm giving you some great feedback. This is going to make your life better. This is going to make your whatever better. And it doesn't always do that. And some of you guys can quit and give up on things because of something somebody says, which you find out later, even the people running the thing aren't really agreeing with it. So I hope I'm not saying bad things about the festival, because the festival's great and everybody's fair, but people are going to have different opinions about you. And are you going to base your life, your career, and the decisions you make based on some negative feedback that may not have even been the truth? So, I had a few people come up to me afterwards saying, oh, so I did make it. After going the second time, I did make it to round 3. There's 3 rounds. And in round 3, it's cut down to 2 people. So it was between me and one other person. So we did our thing. We redid we had to go redo another monologue that we already did. So everyone's like, you got to go back to your first one and make it better based on their notes. And because they want to see in round 3 if you can take their notes as an actor, can you readjust? And I was like, I was already feeling not good about it. I said, I'm not going. Why would I go back and do the monologue that nobody liked? That doesn't even make sense to me. And I did not feel like crying again. I was already crying on the inside. So I went back and I did the fun one. I did the comedy one. And it was very close. It was very close. It was between me and this other girl. And we were like holding hands in the lobby waiting to get called back in to find out who won. It was so close. She won, and I was so happy for her. Because it was like everything to her. And you guys know I got a lot of stuff going on. Winning is not going to be that big of a deal for me. But she was so happy, and I was like hugging her, so thankful. Here's one of the interesting things. The 2 that made it to the final round, the 2 of us girls, we are the ones who gathered all of the actors together in the room and held hands, and we prayed for everybody. Her and I prayed for everyone. And I thought, it's really interesting how we, instead of being in our selfish mode, like, I'm going to win, we decided to gather everybody, hold hands, and pray for everybody, pray for everyone's success. And the 2 prayer warrior girls are the ones who made it to the final round. So take whatever lessons you want from that. Later, I was told that I only lost by 5 points. And it's like losing by 1 point because they score in 5s and 10s. So another person said that it was tied. I heard another person say it was tied. I don't know. And that we should have done the final round. The final round would have been an improv where they would just say, here's your topic, make up a monologue on the spot about this topic. That would have been fun. I would have had fun with that. But we didn't get to do that. So interesting. Lots of people coming up to me afterwards saying, man, you're so great. But everyone's got different opinions. The only opinion that matters is yours and God's. Type in your questions. What questions did I miss as I was thinking out loud about the events that happened last night? Elena says, good things come to those who either wait or work for it. You got to do both. You got to do both. But don't get discouraged if you're in a competition and nobody votes for you. Don't get discouraged. One of the actors, she got some zeros. She got some zeros and she was so upset. She walked off and I didn't see it, but from what I'm told, had a bit of a tantrum and stomped off and just left the competition, just quit, because she didn't like the feedback she was getting. So are we going to quit if we don't like the feedback we get? Vias is asking, what do you think of the episode where the girlfriend gives the guy the ultimatum? The girlfriend said that there's not going to be any highs if the boyfriend continues down the path he's on. Well, I think that's really unfair to give someone an ultimatum, telling them not to follow their dreams or the dream. If someone is not supportive of you and your dreams, why are you with them? Like, don't be with someone who's not supportive of your dreams. Steph says, for me personally, when people say I can't or I won't do something, it drives me harder to prove them wrong. Yes, some people can use that as fuel. But other people let it crush them. I'm more in the crush category. At least I used to be. God's been helping me out, you know. So Rodrigo's listing his 5 favorite videos of me at Dhar Mann. Mom won't let daughter be a mechanic. Rich daughter refuses to tip waitress. Bartender humiliated by poor woman. The Mikey and Jaden series. And my favorite is Nurse Can't See Children from COVID. Okay. Hey, Shanty. Good on you, Steph. My boss is like that, okay. Derek, you know what I decided to do is I think they're called kitten heels. Let me see if I can find them. So these are the 2 pairs of shoes I had for the festival. Kitten heels are a much smaller high heel. I had these little gold ones I wore, and then I had these little black ones I wore. So they're not like super high heels. They're like little kitten heels. So they're like only 2 inches instead of 3 or 4 inches. Because there was a lot of walking around this big hotel, going from the movie theater to the ballroom and all of that. So that was my secret this year. I didn't wear big, super tall heels. So my feet only hurt a little bit. And then I tried to sit whenever I could. All right, let's look at the other questions. Yeah, Angela says I'm in the crush category too. But you can't, because... listen to me. This is how crazy it is to take in others' opinions. I'm sitting in the actor's room thinking, wow, I'm not a very good actor. When I've been in 150 films, when 150 other people hired me above anybody else. So maybe 4 out of the 6 judges didn't vibe with me. Am I gonna think I'm a loser because 4 out of 6 people? Well, maybe those 4 out of 6 people aren't meant for me. Do you guys know even big, giant movie stars deal with rejection? Everybody deals with rejection. There are some big movie stars that people can't stand, that would never go to a movie. Like, I have a friend who cannot stand Renee Zellweger, famous actress. She's like, I can't stand hearing her voice. I cannot watch a movie with her in it. Everybody deals with rejection. But the only thing that can stop you is if you believe it and you give up because of it. So I guess that's my message to you guys. Don't believe it and don't give up on your dreams. You know, it's not that I couldn't take the criticism. I mean, as far as applying it. So they said I wasn't loud enough and I wasn't projecting enough. I had been told, though, it's a film thing. So I was acting for film, but not everybody in the room could see me. So I needed to apparently find some middle ground and project a little more so it's not quite as much of a film thing, but not theater, not big, broad, over the top, playing to the back row. So if I decide to join this contest next year, then, okay, so you're wondering about the why this is so high up. I have 2 boxes of oranges that I have. Here's my setup. I have no, so this is my setup today. I've got my computer stacked on 2 boxes of oranges because there's nowhere. I even tried to like put my phone on this. I took the bench from the room and I put the bench up against the window thinking, so maybe if I have this, I was trying to do some kind of a setup like this, but I didn't have anything to put to put my phone on. So you do the best you can when you're, I don't have my lights, my little ring light stand here. So Visa's asking, what advice do you have regarding destructive criticism versus constructive criticism? Well, you know, the thing is, we can't do anything about the criticism we get. So people are going to say what they're going to say, and they may think it's helpful. They may think it's good. But whether it's destructive or constructive, so I can tell you constructive criticism gives you nuggets and grains of things that you can change and do better. Like when they were telling me, well, we didn't know where you were in your monologue. We didn't know. It's not that that's destructive, but if someone is confused, they can't always follow along with you. They also didn't know when I was talking about after I buried him, they didn't yet know that I was talking about my son. A couple of the judges thought I was talking about my husband. So there was confusion. So people reject things they're confused about. That's just kind of the way it is. So, you know, in sales and marketing, they say a confused mind never buys. So if you guys are doing any kind of creative projects, or even if you're just like advertising your business, we need to know, people need to know what it is you do, you know? So let's say in the book marketing realm, it's much better to have a title that is clear than cute or clever, you know? Cute or clever titles may sound like, ooh, I like that title, and it's got this like secret meaning. But if people don't know at first glance what it is, they don't know it's for them, they're not going to buy. Like a lot of times I see this when I'm driving by like a strip mall. There'll be like a name of a place. And there's this one I drive by all the time. I'm like, I wonder what they do there. You know, I'm like, and then I drive by certain places and it just says Chinese food. I'm like, oh, Chinese food. Okay. So if I want to get some Chinese food, I know I can go there. So I know that's not a clear title. I know that's not clever. I mean, you can do a combination of both. You can call your name Chiang Mai's Chinese food. If it's just Chiang Mai's, you may or may not know what it is, because it could be a massage place, right? It could be Chinese massage, could be Chinese food. We don't know. So you have to be clear. I went and had coaching before I went to do my monologue competition. I paid a coach $150 an hour to tell me how to do my monologues better. And he said the thing too about clarity. So I added a couple lines so I could be more clear. So when they still didn't know, when they were still confused, I was like, that's really interesting, because I purposely added 2 extra lines so people would understand that I'm in a support group. But some people still don't get it. But not everybody's meant to be your fans, right? Via says, criticism from close friends and family members tend to bother way more than criticism from random, complete strangers. Why is that? Have you asked yourself why that is? Rubus asks, when Dhar Mann is looking for actors, how do you hear about him? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean like how do actors who want to audition for Dhar Mann hear about it? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. Okay. Isn't the reason obvious because you care more about the opinions and of the people you respect? Yeah, sometimes you care more, and you have to see them every day. So if you have somebody in your life that you have to see every day and they're like, you're no good, every time you see them, you're like, oh, they think I'm no good. So sometimes the proximity is an issue too. Lily says, do you have a best friend that looks after you and looks after... I have one. She's Chinese and she has straight hair and she looks after me. That's great. I don't know if I have a best friend. I guess I would say my husband is my best friend. But, you know, there's still things, you know, I don't know. I had a couple best friends and now I don't know if I have any best friends now. I have quite a few friends. I don't know if any of them are like my besties. Thank you, Orly. Orly says, you're a great actress. Let's see. Baked Potato says, I'm in the crush category majorly because of the disorder I have and being empathetic at the same time. I take almost everything to heart, but you can't. You can't take everything to heart. You have to just let it go. Listen, there's a lot of people that want to quit after they get bad feedback, but you can't. You can't give up on your dreams because not everybody's going to get you and they're not meant to. Okay, Elena says, I totally agree. I went to a restaurant where a lady threw all the food in front of the waiter just because the waiter didn't ask as though whether she was allergic. Oh. Yeah. You know, I just feel like we need to just be gentle. We need to just have grace. I was reading this morning in the book of Philippians in the CEV version? And in that version, it struck me. These words said, be gentle to everyone because the Lord is coming soon. How many times are we rude and callous to people? How many times do we throw our plate of food at them, get mad, get upset about something? And we don't know, everybody is going through something and we have no idea. There was this one guy in the acting class I took yesterday and he did this monologue and he held up this sign and this sign on the top, he held the sign on the top of his head and it said something like, a black man on the outside. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're good. How's your mom and them? You're doing great. Hey, what's going on with you? Yeah, blessed, brother. Good to see you. And then he held up this sign that said, a black man on the inside. And then he started weeping and crying and yelling and all this intense emotion and just going through this whatever. And then he held up a sign again that says a black man on the outside. Hey, brother, how you doing? Yeah, how's your mom and them? Oh, me? Oh, yeah, I'm blessed, you know? Because a lot of people are putting on a face. A lot of people are putting on fronts that they are doing great when really they just feel like they are dying inside. And then he held up a fourth sign and it said something like, you never know what a black man is going through. And there's this whole thing in the black community about how you don't go to therapy, you don't talk to anyone about your problems, you man up, you tough it out, you just pretend. And, you know, we have to normalize getting help if we need help. We have to normalize talking it through, talking to people, right? You can't hold everything in because that will kill you. I remember what it was like when I just felt like I was dying inside, like nobody understood me, nobody got me. I just was like, I can't even talk to anyone because they're going to judge me. You know how to say cute, like Laura says it on her video. I would have to watch her video to be able to mimic her more. But I remember that video she did. Cute. I remembered when COVID came and a saleswoman thought I had COVID because I was Oriental Asian. Wow, I'm sorry you went through that. It's no fun to get judged and stereotyped based on things we have no control over, right? Blake says he just got out of church. Elena says, I will get a meal deal at the supermarket and give it to a homeless person. It brightens up their day and mine. I love that. I love that. And you guys, anytime you're feeling down or in a funk, if you do something nice for somebody else, it makes you feel better. And it makes them feel better. I mean, we're meant to be in these relationships where we're encouraging and uplifting people. Life is hard, isn't it? Things don't go the way we want them to do. We don't get the outcomes that we always want to have. Nicola is bringing up the role I played where I stereotyped a guy on the plane with a turban. Phil says, I agree with you on getting help. I've been in therapy 4 months because of anxiety and fear of death and dying. Good for you, Phil. We've got to get those things taken care of. Guys, if you have something that's like killing you on the inside, you got to talk to somebody about it. Get a therapist, get a coach, get a mentor, talk to a pastor, talk to somebody you can trust. Get it off your chest. You know, sometimes just talking it out, getting some advice from someone you trust makes a world of difference, because our minds, thank you, Angela, for the gift, our minds and the devil can play tricks on us. And you know, you and me and everybody, we always think worst case scenarios, right? You know, your boss calls you into their office. Ooh, the principal calls you into the office at school. Ooh, why is this happening? You know, 90% of the time you're going to think, oh God, I did something bad. What's happening? Am I getting fired? Am I getting suspended? Even if you don't even know anything that you've done wrong, your heart starts to race. You start freaking out. You start playing scenarios in your mind of what could possibly be happening. Oh, Albert's here. It's okay. It's okay. You can always watch the part you missed later. Ruby says, I got bullied many times in my life, and that made me doubt myself a lot. But I prayed to God, and now everything got better. Thank you for all your advice. It really makes my day. Oh, thank you. So, guys, there's people out there that want to help, but you know, word of caution here. You can't share everything with everyone. Some people will find out your dirt and spread it around. So you guys make sure you know the person enough to know they're not going to tell your business to other people. Because that you know, you have to find the right person that you can trust. So, yeah. Lily wants to know if I still wear the halter dress that I own. Are you talking about the black one with the silver sequins? I have not had any occasion to wear that anywhere. So I don't even think that fits me anymore. I got a little extra padding these days from the put on the quarantine 15. But I'm going to get it off. I got super motivated yesterday. I took this boot camp class, and it was like an exercise class. And guy was so motivating, he and his wife. And he attended the movie premiere Friday night in like a green sequenced tuxedo coat and a bow tie with no shirt on. And we're all looking at him like, who's this like Chippendale stripper over here? This guy didn't get the memo. It's formal night, and you know, we're all in gowns and suits and tuxes, and he just like forgot to wear his shirt. Well, he's like Mr. Six-pack abs, like perfect chiseled body. Come to find out, he's gonna be 64 in 2 months. I was like, what? If I could even look half that good when I'm 54, I would be, hello. And so I took his, he's a trainer. I found out he's a personal trainer. I took his class and he was very motivating. I was like, oh, I'm going to start doing these lunges like this. We did this class and then we went out for a walk, the group. And then he was showing me these different kinds of lunges that you can do on benches and stuff. And I was like, oh, I was feeling stronger and I was feeling good. And I was like, man, if I just like exercise like this, like few days a week, I might come back here next year looking a little more. We'll see. We'll see if I keep it up. But currently, currently 24 hours later, I'm motivated to keep going. We'll see. Vias is asking, why did the girlfriend who gave the guy the ultimatum say that he has so much potential and that he needs to stay focused? That sounds supportive to me. Okay, that is interesting that you bring that up because people will do that to us in our life. If they think, yeah, right, anything but burpees, Brittany. If they think what you're doing isn't their version of success, right? Dhar Mann had another video where the Indian girl wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and I think her mom wanted her to be a doctor. She also thought her daughter was wasting her potential because you could make so much money as a doctor and da-da-da. Some people just, it's sad, it's really sad, but some people, their only version of success is they think it's about how much money you make. So when someone says you're not living up to your potential, because I've had comments like that to me a lot, where people in the entertainment industry will kind of make fun of me a little bit for being on this, you're on this YouTube show, you know, and they're like, why don't you want to be on like a television show? Don't you want to be on like big movies in the movie theater with like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie? And like, whoa, I don't know what's going on with you. You know, you have so much potential. Like, why are you doing this little YouTube show? So I have people that say things like that to me, and they didn't use the word potential. They're like, oh, it's interesting because you're so pretty and you're so talented. Like, why are you doing this internet show? And I'm thinking to myself, it's not like Steven Spielberg and all these great directors are beating down my door and saying, we want to put you in our big $100 million movie. And I'm going, no, I'm about to go film for this YouTube channel. It's not like there's these big opportunities and I'm like going, no, I'm happy doing this. I make the best decisions based on the information I have and do what makes me happy. And that's what you guys have to do, right? You have to make the best decisions you have based on the information you have and the opportunities you have and do what makes you happy. Steph says people have said that to me too, that I have so much talent and I here's that word should. I should be doing certain things. Mate, I'm doing what I want to do. It's my dang choice. Exactly. We're never going to fit into somebody else's mold. Yes, Brittany says we call those backhanded compliments. Oh, man. So there was this writer, famous writer, of a famous TV show you guys may have seen. It was on for years. And he was meeting with me. He's met with me a couple times, and he wanted me to collaborate on a project with him because there's a lot of ageism in Hollywood. You may have heard of that. That if you get to a certain age, then they don't want to use you anymore. They don't want to work with you, or they think you're washed up or a has-been. And so people in Hollywood lie about their age all the time. I don't know if you ever saw the woman got busted. She was pretending to be like 18 or 19, and she was like, I think in her early 30s. She got this writing position on the show because everyone's like, she's this hot young talent. She's so, you know, they were just amazed at how she could write, thinking she was just a teenager. Anyway, people are always pretending to be something they're not because there can be opportunities in that. So I'm meeting with this famous writer, he wants to collaborate on some projects with me, and he wants me to be the face of the writing team. So he read my writing sample. I sent him one of the scripts I wrote, and he read it, and we met, and he's like, well, backhanded compliments, well, your script's wasn't terrible. So that was, that was my compliment. Your script wasn't terrible. Okay, so it's got some potential. And I need someone to be like the face who's going to go to the meetings, the writers' meetings, to represent us, because, the ageism in Hollywood, I'm too old, whatever. But if you go, he's like, and if I could send you, I need somebody young and fresh, but you're not that young, but, you're younger than me. Like, it was like thing after thing after thing where he's backhanded compliments. And what a creep. He, like, at one of the meetings, he's like asking me what color panties I have on, and it's like, yeah, some of these people in Hollywood are total creeps. I got stories for days, but I don't usually share that on here because I have young viewers. And point is, wow, yuck, that's right. Weird and icky, right? Let's change the topic. VS asks, have you ever met Dorothy Manny? She played the unsupportive girlfriend, Morgan, who gave the guy the ultimatum. She has her own YouTube channel. I don't think I've ever met her. No. I've seen her in a couple, though. I remember a Dhar Mann video like that. Michael Vaccaro didn't want to use Ricky. Yeah. Yep. Happens all the time in Hollywood. Have you ever met Aiden Lane yet? Remind me of who he is. I don't think so. I feel like I would remember somebody named Aiden. Oh, and yes, I did see that Aiden Meekus was back, but I don't think he ever left. Sometimes it just goes in cycles where we're in some and then we're not in some. It just depends on what the scripts are and what they're coming out and what they're writing. Sorry, I'm trying to prop this phone up for you guys. Doing my best here. All right. Yes, I have. Have I worked with Michael Vaccaro? I feel like I have. Yeah, well, yeah, we worked on the teachers one. Teachers say we need fair pay. I'm not sure if I've worked on any other ones with him, but I was for sure in that one with him. But I feel like I have, because I've seen him. Yes, I worked on the Jamie Kern story, the acne one. We were both on that one. There might be more. Have you ever changed a line in a TV show or movie to what you wanted to say instead of the line that was written? Yes. Well, for the monologue competition, I did. The one I did at the beginning, the first one I did, I added extra lines. I added at least 3 extra lines, and then I cut some stuff out because I thought it suited the competition better. So yeah, you can do that sometimes. Not when you're doing mainstream film or TV. If you're going to change anything, you need to ask the director if you're allowed. Marie is back. Nicola, I also remember the one where you played a teacher who disliked a teacher with dwarfism. Yes. Do you guys follow her? What is her name? Jo Osmond. She's so lovely. She's a really great actress. She's really lovely. Lena said there was one with Sophia as well. Oh, okay. Let's see. Lovely. Kira wants a shout out. Hey, Rodrigo. It's sad that a job I love went out of business, and it was a Disney store, and I worked there for 2 years. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Congratulations. Oh yeah, guys, I hit 13,000 subscribers this week on my YouTube channel. Did you guys see that? Let's see. Have you seen my best friend's son? His name is... No, I haven't. Okay, may I have a shout out? We already did that. Let's see. Have you seen the most critical video calling you the most talented Dhar Mann actor? What? No. Oh, Moist Critical. Is that a YouTuber? I've never heard of him. He or she made a video calling me the most talented Dhar Mann actor. Wow. Brittany's asking me what my favorite part is. You mean like a role I've played? A role I've played. On Dhar Mann or just in any of my acting? Well, I'm pretty partial to the role Scar I played in Cannibal Corpse Killers. That was a very fun role. You can imagine tromping through the desert, killing zombies. It was a fun day on the job. As far as Dhar Mann ones, I like the more challenging, juicy roles where I can really sink my teeth into it. The Gold Digger one was so fun to play, you know, because it's so like against my character type. You know, I did like that old lady one, the old is gold. That gold digger, that old lady who wants to advertise in the newspaper. And sometimes I like the ones that are more challenging. That's not just the everyday. Like, I feel like when I'm doing like Mikey and Jaden's mom, I'm just being myself, you know. But sometimes that's you know, hard to do on camera too, is to be yourself and look natural. Okay. I have a major phobia of dentists, Steph says. Quite a few people do. They're not fun to go to. Brittany says, I hit send too soon. What is your favorite part of your trip? And yes, I already know. I love the movie Scar. I'd love to do a role like that. Let's go. Jordan says, not to sound rude by Catherine. I'm not sure what that's referencing. I'm sorry if I missed your other comment, so I don't know what that's about. My favorite part, I mean, it's beautiful here. Let me show you guys my view at my hotel. It's so pretty here. Okay, this is I'm on a golf course. Isn't that pretty? Is it just me? Look at all the palm trees. Sorry, Brittany. I'm not trying to make you jealous. There's other trees too. There's mountains and lakes and excuse me. I need some water, but I'm out. I'm not out. I just have to walk to my car and actually get some, which I did not do this morning. I gotta make trips to I gotta check out soon. And I gotta get I gotta squeeze into that black sequin dress. Go to this award show. Okay. Let's see. What did I miss? Type in your questions if I haven't gotten to them yet. Okay, let's see. Lovely says, I love your hairstyle. Nicola says, do you follow fans on Instagram? Sometimes. Sometimes. Oops. So right now I have my phone propped up by my shoe. So that's why it keeps getting knocked over every time I try to scroll through these. So what did I not answer for you guys that you wanted me to answer? Somebody said, it's so nice. I've never seen it before. Yes, Las Vegas, lots of deserts. Oh, do you guys remember my friend Monique, who I had on here a couple months ago, the singer-songwriter? She has got a new music video dropping May 1st. So please keep an eye out for her new music video. Maybe I'll show it to you guys after it comes out. I'll do like a screen share and show it to you guys. It's really good. She shot it here in Las Vegas and out in the desert. It's really cool. Jelly, you already know I love palm trees, looks fun. And so what has been my favorite part? It's, you know, for me, it's always like connecting with people. I don't know, you know, I don't think I've had enough time to absorb and take it all in. The stand-up comedians last night were pretty funny. I didn't get to watch both of them. I got the warm-up guy was good. Bernice wants to know if I have a favorite song. You know, it's funny. It's not even a known artist. I'm thinking about my friend Monique's song called "Victory," and Monique Hester. You can find that on YouTube. But that song "Victory" of hers keeps running through my mind nonstop. Um, I don't know if I have a favorite song right now. Angela, what was my favorite song from last year? You know, because you did a version of it because you knew I liked it. It's something about the truth. Truth be told, it might be called. Um, I don't know. I know you guys don't, I don't listen to music all that much. It's not really my jam. I don't think I've listened to, I don't even know the last, you know what? I was going to say, I don't think I've listened to music the whole way here, but I did at one point. I got tired of listening to my audiobooks and I wanted to do some like worship. So I put on some old hymns, some old Bible hymns, like the kind my mom used to listen to. And then I got all sad and crying, thinking about my mom. And I don't know, I just miss everyone. I'm going home in July to be able to see my mom and dad. Okay, my niece Fifi loves Victoria Justice and Miranda Cosgrove. They are her favorite singers. Okay. Waylon says, where would you like to visit that you haven't, but want to before you leave this world? I'd love to visit Hawaii, he said. I think I would like to go to Thailand. That's the only place I could think of right now. But there's some other trips because my husband, there's a lot of places he wants to go. He wants to go to, I think it's called Machu Picchu. Have you heard of that? I think it's in Peru. But nothing, you know, it's been like weird with travel with the COVID restrictions and stuff like that. Elena says 2 months till the 2 concerts I'm going to see. NZ Band, Crowded House, and ABBA. Oh, you know what? My son's favorite band is Imagine Dragons, and I took him to an Imagine Dragons concert, and that was a lot of fun. They are really great performers, and they do have a lot of good songs. When it comes to music, because I'm a writer and because I'm a poet, I'm more into lyrics than maybe the musical elements of a song. I remember when I was young, when I was like a teenager, I used to just not even like listen to lyrics. I would just be like, oh, this song is so danceable, and be, you know, dancing in the clubs, whatever. And then I started to like get closer to God, and I started like, it was like my ears were opened and I could hear the lyrics to these songs I was dancing to, and I was like, I can't listen to these anymore. And God convicted me when I was in my 20s. I had all these, like, I used to love hip hop and rap, and I had all these CDs, and God just was like, you cannot put that in your soul anymore. And I remember taking dozens and dozens and dozens of CDs and just breaking them and throwing them in the trash. And my husband was like, what are you doing? We could have, back then there was stores that sold used CDs. We could have brought them down to the whatever store and got money for them. I was like, Rob, if God is telling me this music is not good for my soul, why would I want other people to listen to this? He didn't quite understand. He thought he just sees me breaking all these CDs that we could have got money for. But you guys have to protect your soul. You have to only put in there things that are good and true and lovely and right and of good report. Anything that is praiseworthy. Brittany's saying, I love rap. So we have to guard ourselves. I know there's some music that's really good, that sounds really good, that's where the instrumentals are so good, where the singing, the vocals are so good. But what are we programming our mind with? What are we putting into our soul that's not good for our spirit? You know, there was a song that we sung as kids. Be careful, little ears, what you hear. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. For the Father up above is looking down in love. Oh, be careful, little ears, what you hear. It went on, be careful, little eyes, what you see. And be careful, little mouth, what you say. For the Father up above is looking down in love. God wants us to protect what goes in our ears. He wants us to protect what we see, to not watch shows that would grieve our spirit. And that brings us full circle into what today's talk was about. Why others' opinions don't matter. But we don't want to hear things that are going to hurt our soul. We don't want to hear things that are going to hurt our spirit, right? I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday to join me. You guys are all special and unique, and I want you to keep going no matter what anybody else says to you. No, I don't want you to walk away from your dreams and stomp off just because people give you a 0. In God's eyes, you are not a 0. You just have to find your tribe. You have to find the people that resonate with you. You have to find the people that get you, that understand your talent, that want to be part of your circle, your support system, your fan group, whatever it is. And what you do for the glory of God, and you do for those who love you. You don't do for the people that don't. The people that don't love you, don't vibe with you, don't get you, don't think you're talented, what you're doing is not for them. They're not your tribe. So live true, love hard, and shine bright. And you'll see my video Monday and Wednesday and Friday as always, and I will be here live next Sunday to talk to you. Bye.